welcome back. Now what I'll do is I try to give you some practice of if else by giving you certain examples that will help you better understand the code flow. See how the code is taking the path, is how the code is running and deciding which part to run, which part to execute depending on the conditions. Okay, that's why it's called control flow. You are controlling the flow of code by making use of if else statements. Let's take example one. Okay, suppose I write if 50 is greater than 60. Okay, print A, and within this I write print B, and here I write else, print AJ. Now let's understand this code. As you can see, this is a simple if else code. If some condition is true, do this, else do this. Now this I have given you to tell you that the if block or the else block can have multiple statements within it. Okay, here in previous example I have given you where only one statement was within, but it can have multiple statements. So here the concept of indentation comes into picture. Okay, this is called code indentation. Okay, so when you write this colon and when you hit enter, the code will automatically go to one tab inside. Like if I highlight this, as you can see here there are some spaces, some tabs automatically. So this defines block in Python. In other programming languages you use curly braces to define the block, but not in Python. It's simple. Okay, so yeah, first thing. Second thing, as I told you, this is a simple block which is if block, and this is your else block. So as the condition is false, right? So you will go into the else block. So only AJ will get printed. Okay. But if I take the same example and if I reverse the condition, so if I make this as less, then what will happen? Guess it right. So if I run this, it will be AB. Why? Because first it will check it's true, so it will go into the if block and all the statements within the if block will run. A and then B and Y on the new lines, because by default the end is new line. I've told you this at the very first session that new line is by default the end, is by default the parameter of end. Okay, is value within the end. If you want to customize, you can write accordingly. So this is a case of if else. Now to make it more interesting, I have one more example. Suppose I print AJ1, then I write condition if 5 is less than 6. Okay, print AJ2, or let's say print A, print B, else print A, and then print AJ2. Okay, now let's understand this code. First thing, please note that this is neither part of if nor part of else. Okay. Similarly, this is neither part of else nor part of else. How do you understand whether something is part of it or not? When they are present within the block. Okay, so here they are not present in the block. This is if block, this is else block. Now what I'm trying to tell you is that the statements which are not part of if else will always run irrespective of whether the condition is true or false. Okay. And here I have written only one statement. It can be a very huge code as well. Basically when I run this, the output I get is AJ1, A, B, AJ2. Why? Because this will run no matter if the condition is true or false. Then condition is checked. As the condition is true, you will go to the if block, and then you will skip the else and you will go outside and you will print whatever the code is from there on. Okay, so if I copy this to give you one view, and if I reverse this, okay, then it will go to else block, but still the above and below print which are outside will get printed as it is AJ1, C, AJ2. AJ1, then else part, then AJ2. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the code outside the if block will run irrespective, no matter, because it is independent of if else flow. But then if block or else block run will depend on the case to case of the condition. Okay. So yeah, with this I have this I think it's more than sufficient for us to understand the case of if else. Okay. Yeah, thank you.